Today I am going to make chicken salad, and anybody that has watched any of these cooking videos will probably notice a theme that I like to make things that a lot of people will make sweet, just completely savory. Not a huge fan of sweet. I love salt, I love spice, I love flavor, but not so much sweet. So this chicken salad's the same way. It's fresh, it's bright, it's flavorful, but it's not at all sweet. So I start with a rotisserie chicken because I'm lazy like that, and take the meat off, the skin off, snack a little bit on the skin, throw the meat in the bowl, save the bones for bone broth. So I'm gonna do that and be back with you. Okay, I got my chicken carcass that I'm gonna save for bone broth. Put that off to the side, and I got my bowl full of chicken pieces. I'm just gonna take these and kind of chop them up into smaller pieces because right now they're kind of like just big shreds where I just ripped it off. This is a rotisserie chicken from Sam's. I really like the salmon Costco rotisserie chickens because they're a really good deal for the amount of meat you get. They're just huge and not very expensive. All right, so I got that all chopped up. I'm gonna throw it back in my bowl, and I'm gonna go get the rest of the ingredients that I need. All right, so I got 5 celery stalks, some rosemary, thyme, and oregano from my garden. These are my 3 favorite Greek oregano, by the way. 3 favorite staples to have out there, along with chives and basil, garlic, and red onion. This red onion's already cut up because I used it for tacos the other night, but I'll probably chop it a little finer to mix into the chicken. So I'm just gonna cut my celery stalks in half so the pieces are a little more bite-sized. And then just do nice thin slivers. Into the bowl you go. This is probably about a cup of red onion. Probably like over half of the large one. Maybe a whole medium size. I'm just gonna go through and make sure these are nice and fine. Red onion is my favorite onion to use raw because it's got just like a little bit less bite than raw yellow onion. And I think I'm probably gonna use, I'll just use it all. And for my herbs, I just take the leaves off the stalk. I do them all together and separate them out. And I really love fresh herbs in raw dishes. The dried herbs I think do really good in stuff you cook, but there's something about fresh raw herbs in uncooked food that's just really makes them pop. All right, once I get all the leaves off, I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna chop them up really fine. Now, if you're making this for kids, you probably only wanna do like 1 large piece of garlic because it's gonna be raw, but I like Flavor Town, so I'm doing 3 whole pieces of garlic raw. And I'll show you my favorite way to chop up garlic, especially for dishes where it's gonna be raw, so there's not such big pieces, like overwhelming the palate all at once. So first step, get all the skin off. I'm gonna move the camera so I can show you. So first I'm gonna slice these garlic cloves up really thin, as thin as I can. And then I'm just gonna mince them. Then I'm gonna take some coarse salt, sprinkle it on the top, and use the flat edge of my knife to kind of smash them and make a garlic paste. So when you do this, it releases all the oils in there, which releases the flavor, and it makes it super, super fine. So you don't got big garlic chunks kind of assaulting your palate. So you just do it, I usually end up doing it 3 or 4 times. Just pushing with the flat of my knife and sliding it towards me, piling it back up, and going again. So you have to do this. When you do this, you have to remember to take a little bit of salt out of your recipe because you added some into your garlic. And that's all gonna go in. So you end up with this really nice kind of garlic paste. So I'm gonna put that in my pot too. Look how beautiful that stuff is together. It looks and it smells amazing. All right, up next we have one of my favorite spices, and it's Chipotle chili pepper. It's just got a nice little smoky flavor with also a little bit of heat. So I'm probably gonna use about a teaspoon. Again, I just measure with my hand. And of course, we're gonna taste this all before we decide if it's good, because you got to. And then, of course, when you're making chicken salad, you gotta have mayonnaise. Again, like always, I just kind of glop it on until it feels right, you know? And then I stir it up and make sure. We also want black pepper, and it's more than I want to hand crank. Probably about a teaspoon of black pepper too. I'm gonna do a couple pinches of salt. This is just sea salt. This is my favorite little container that Derek got me one time. It's olive wood. And it's adorable. It's got a little magnet to keep it closed. I keep my sea salt in there. So I'm just gonna do a couple pinches. Since I added salt to that garlic, I'm not sure how salty it's gonna be. We might need to add more later. Now I'm just gonna stir it all up. And it's looking a little dry still, so I think we need some more mayonnaise. So I'm gonna grab a new fresh spoon to grab that with. Nobody wants dried chicken salad, that's disgusting. This makes a horrible sound when you stir it, just real sloshy. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Much more moist. All right, let's give that a taste. I don't really want to use the mayonnaise spoon. Make sure I get a little bit of everything this bite. You probably use like half a teaspoon more of Chipotle chili powder and a little bit more salt. Salt is such a personal thing. I always try to undersalt and then add as I go, because it's a lot harder to take out. You can always add more, but it's a lot harder to take out. Okay, let's try this again. We have to achieve perfection. That is so good. I think you could use lemon. Do you like how I said we achieved perfection and then I immediately changed my mind? Yeah, that's pretty standard. So this, my friends, is probably my most used kitchen tool. It's a citrus press, and it's big enough to fit even the oranges from my tree. So put your lemon in. Ooh, don't get twisty in there. And then just squeeze. You don't have to worry about the seeds. Juices really easily. It's really nice. So I just decided it could use a little bit more brightness, which is what I hope to achieve with that acid from the lemon. Okay, hopefully my last fork. Derek is my dish fairy, and he's gonna be like, why do you have so many forks? Don't worry about it, dude. Now that is perfect.